Can you advertise subscriptions through Google Shopping? Well, the short answer is yes for some and no for others. And I'll walk you through in this video what the nuances of this policy are. And if you don't know who I am, my name is John from StubGroup. We are a digital advertising agency and a Google Premier partner. And we are the #1 resource in the world for fixing Google suspensions and helping businesses comply with Google's policies. So let's dig into using Google Shopping to advertise subscriptions. So there has been an update in October 2025, which has changed Google's policy. Prior to October 2025, Google said that you could not advertise physical goods that were only available through a subscription through Google Shopping. And it's important to note we're talking about Google Shopping, not other aspects of Google Ads. So Google Shopping is specifically the ads that appear on Google when you search for something and you see that ad at the top with the image of the product, the price of the product, the title, etc. Those are shopping ads. And Google had a more restrictive policy for those than they did for text ads or video ads or other types of things. So that restrictive policy was, again, you could not advertise physical goods by subscription using Google Shopping. They changed that in October 2025 for a couple of specific categories. So if you sell products in apparel and accessories, in coffee, healthcare, excluding prescription drugs, home and garden, personal care, pet supplies, prepared foods, and toys, if you sell in any of those categories, you are allowed to now use Google Shopping to advertise your subscriptions. And there are a couple of other existing kind of exceptions that I'll walk you through here in a second that were already in place before this policy update. I will also note that Google has not been very consistent about this policy prior to October 2025. For example, prepared meals is one of the categories they mentioned here. We've had clients we worked with in this space, and we have been able to find a way to use Google Shopping for those clients. And you see all the big names you would recognize in the prepared meals space using Google Shopping prior to this time, even though technically Google said that you could not advertise subscriptions through Google Shopping. So Google's not been super consistent, but now they are, I guess, getting more clear in how they're going to enforce policies by actually adding these exceptions to their policy. And so it's important to note that if you are selling a product in one of those categories, you need to enter that category ID as part of your feed when you send your products to Google. And Google specifies that in their policy around unsupported shipping content. So they say you have to categorize these products under the Google product category codes that are listed below. And this is something you can set in your feed when you send your data to Google Merchant Center. And if your product is not in one of these specific category IDs, then Google is saying that they're going to flag it for not being compliant. So that's an important note. And then there were, like I mentioned earlier, some exceptions already to this rule. And these are listed, again, in Google's policy around recurring billing, the sub-policy around recurring billing in the unsupported shopping content policy. So you already could sell magazines and newspaper subscriptions that have recurring billing. You could already sell software subscriptions that were prepaid and auto-renew annually. You could already sell mobile products that were sold in installments or with a subscription contract if they were listed in a specific link that Google gives, and if they were categorized under the Google product category codes that were listed below. So, for example, watches, mobile phones, tablet computers, mobile phone prepaid cards and SIM cards, and GPS tracking devices. So those exceptions already existed prior to October 2025, and then there's the new list of exceptions to this that Google is allowing. And then some additional requirements if you are going to be setting up your feed for this. Google mentions there are specific fields that you need to have in your feed related to subscription cost, period, week, amount, etc. You have to have clear terms and conditions on your landing pages for these ads that state all the subscription agreement terms, including cancellation, refund procedures, auto renewal practices, notification methods, etc. And you have to have a very clear offer. As Google says, the ad and landing page must clearly indicate that the offer is for a subscription of a physical good, including the cost, period, and period length. And if you happen to be in Brazil, you also could have subscriptions with recurring billing for telecom side of things. So hope that's helpful. If you sell one of these products in this space, you can now use Google Shopping, and you probably should because it's a great tool. If you'd like help with that, or just help in general with advertising or with understanding Google's policies, fixing suspensions, whatever it is, please reach out through StubGroup.com, and we'd love to help.